afternoon, morning, evening, everyone. This is Clara Rice. I am the Director of Communications at Jack Rouse Associates and on the Eastern Division Board of the Themed Entertainment Association, and you are listening live to TEA TV, WTEA. In today's TEA Talk, if you're a new member, if you're new to the program, or just need a little refresher on your TEA member benefits, we have a distinguished panel today that will be talking about the past, present, and future of TEA, and most importantly, how you can be a part of it. Before we jump into our program, I want to introduce our distinguished panel of guests. These are the leaders of the TEA, and hopefully people you'll be able to meet in person. Your TEA team on the call today is Jenny Nevin, the Chief Operating Officer, Steve Burkett, International Board President, David Ion, the Membership Committee Chair, sends his regrets, but is thinking of us fondly today. Dale Sprague, our Marketing Committee Chair, Michael Mercandante, Sponsorship Committee Chair, Scott Gill, Eastern North America Division President, Tricia Rodriguez, Western North American Division VP, and Chris Yoshi is with us again in spirit. As you can imagine, it's not quite the right time of day for this in China, but again, he sends his regards, as well as Paul Kent, our Europe Middle East Division President. So without further ado, you're not here to listen to me speak, you're here to listen to this distinguished panel of guests. So we're gonna start out with Jenny Nevin, COO of the TEA. Take it away, Jenny.
Hey, thank you, Clara. Well, I can't wait for my turn, but I thought it would be more exciting to open up with Steve. Steve Burkett, our International President.
Hello, everyone, and I am very excited. It is true. I'm very glad to be here. Clara, hey, thank you so much for setting this up. This is huge. I really appreciate the work that's gone into this for all the group that's got here, and especially the folks listening. It is my great pleasure to chat a minute about TEA. We put together some slides here for some general overview sorts of information. I get to kind of kick it off. You know, TEA, it lays it out there right there. We're a international nonprofit association representing the world's creators, developers, designers, and producers of compelling places and experiences. From our humble beginnings in 1991, the beginnings are even before that. The folks that began the group in 1991 really came out of Epcot. The majority of them, those guys, when that park opened in 1982, they found themselves no longer, in the cocoon of a major owner-operator. They found themselves working in the wide world, and not only did they need to be the specialists that they were, the creators of the special effects and of the lighting designers and the specialists who did the rock work and the painting and the scenic work and all the many disciplines that go into building, what at the time was the world's largest, private construction project. It was this huge undertaking. All these guys and gals that came out for that project were now operating without a net. Not only did they need to have their skills that they had developed during Epcot, but they needed to be business people. They needed to know about contracts, and they needed to know about the legal environment and how to deal with other sorts of companies, how to deal with another project as a vendor as opposed to the owner. All those folks went out and they found they had great contacts and great experience, and they found work with world's fairs and other theme park owners, but they were in a whole different fish pond, and so they kind of got together. It's originally just sort of a self-help sort of group. How can we operate in this new environment? So those guys got together. Monty Lundy, the founder, of course, he started his own company, Technifex, and got together with guys like Ed Foyer, who started Ride and Show Engineering. Pat Gallegos, came out of Epcot as a lighting designer. Steve Alcorn would go on to found Alcorn McBride, and of course Glenn Burkett would go on to found Burkett Engineering, and the list goes on and on. All these folks that came off the Epcot project now running their own companies. So they got together to try to learn from one another because they were operating in a whole different environment. So that's sort of the genesis of TEA. So it has grown from there. These days, it's just an enormous, I think some 1,270 member companies, over 70 events every year around the world, 4 divisions, the Western Division, Western North America, Eastern North America, European and Middle East, Asia Pacific. Originally it was very, hold the slides if you would, originally it was very LA-centric, but now it's very much worldwide. If you could back up one slide. The depth and breadth of the organization has grown so much. There's so much gravity these days that you know, groups that we wouldn't have envisioned early on are seeking out TEA for their content, for their expertise, for the membership, for you know, for trade delegations, for you know, the Wall Street Journal and media outlets, all looking to the TEA for what we bring. So this slide here, you'll see the kind of the breadth of the projects that we touch these days is very much beyond the original theme park group. You know, casinos, restaurants, retail stores, museums, zoos, anything where there is a guest experience. So the pictures that you see here kind of demonstrate that. What's fun about some of these pictures that you see here, you know, when in putting this together, we didn't go to some stock reservoir of TEA pictures. These are all very recent. I think these are all from this year. You know, a simple event will draw, you know, 100, 200, 300 folks just for regional events. And then the international tentpole events even more, you know, 500, 600. So there is quite a bit of interest these days in this industry for sure. Next slide, if you would. Some of these shots here are all from this year. Events in Dubai and in Anaheim and around the world, all just gathering folks who have an interest in, you know, creating these special experiences. I think if I were to boil it down, what the TEA does now is just we provide the connective tissue. We provide the connective tissue for the industry, for the creators across so many diverse sorts of venues, and it's just a wonderful thing to be a part of these days. I think that's it for my part. If I think of something else, I'll jump in on Jimmy, but I think I'm going to turn this over to Jimmy now.
Hi, everyone. This is so exciting. This is to be a part of this digital mixer this year, for the first time this year, and having you all attend with us today. As you probably know, it seems like we're in a new golden age for our industry. And what we're seeing all around the world as we go to different divisions and we adventure with TEA, our TEA members are growing and are expanding and are doing more and more work worldwide. So it's a really great time for the industry, but also the best time that you've chosen to be a part of TEA. So as Steve mentioned in his slides, really we have come to a pinnacle of being an association that's able to serve our members worldwide in so many different sectors, as well as in what we have to offer. So I just have a quick couple slides. One is a pie chart of, as you're looking at with this, the breakdown of our members by division. Our Eastern and Western divisions were the sort of the first couple places that TEA started. So they have the most members in those regions, but we have our European division has quite a great space there. And our Asia division is one of the newest initiatives, but we expect it to grow rapidly with the industry over the next few years. We have members in 40 different countries. So there's just a slight list there. We even have people starting in India and Russia and the newer areas that we've started to talk about the industry expanding to next. There's a lot of benefits of being a TEA member. So you actually can enjoy member rates at all of our TEA activities that we do for members only. So you have members only access and you also have members prices. You have exclusive access to new projects, behind-the-scenes tours, and our educational presentations. You get to see special behind-the-scenes tours that we only open to exclusive groups of TEA members that are sometimes first launches before even the public gets to see them. And then you also have a global resource now with TEA, which gives you, your own visibility within the industry, as well as the ability to meet many other members from all around the world. So one of our top benefits of being a member is our online membership directory, where you actually get a profile. You are listed in that directory, so not only can people find you, but you can find other people in the industry. And we've improved that tool recently so that you can search in a lot of different ways depending on what you're looking for. And we also have a much broader reach right now with our partnerships with our press, not only industry press, but global press as well. So one of the ways that you can have people connect to you through the directory, but also through your own website, is we have our TEA Proud Member logo, which you can place on your website or on your materials or your business card, which would identify you to other people in the industry that you're a part of this group. And I think that we have experienced that you have an advantage. The TEA advantage is where you say, I'm a member, and you already have the introduction. Someone would be more willing to talk to you or do business with you based on that. You have marketing opportunities, so you can promote your organization through sponsorships, through your profile page, and also we have something called TEA Member News. So there's an area of your profile that you can post your news and press releases, and then that gets posted to our website in our TEA Member News section. Why join TEA, or what is the best reason, or why did you join TEA? The coolest thing is that you get to be part of a worldwide network of professionals in the themed entertainment industry. We have many opportunities for you to meet and socialize with all different types of members, from the individual member, from the student level member, from the expert, from the owner operator, and from the very established TEA vendor member. And we make it easy for you to do it by doing mixers and behind the scenes tours, and we have many events. We show up at trade shows around the world like IAPA in Orlando, as well as in Europe and Asia. And then we have our next gen group of members that really has two advantages. One, if you are a next gen, then we can actually help mentor you and help the next place in the industry, and we have all sorts of educational opportunities. But on top of that, if you are not a next gen, but you're looking for the future and who the next level of talent is, then our next gen members would be a place that you could look. The best and brightest people to TEA. And really, TEA isn't anything without our members. The members are what make it happen. Members help TEA, exist, as well as they volunteer and they join committees, and they become a part of this group that helps make the industry better, and we all help each other in the process. One of the biggest benefits is access. So you're getting access to all of the experienced professionals in the industry, the top people in the world doing what we do, the top creators, the top storytellers, and that's how you can get to them through TEA. You have access to information. We have tons of resources. We do educational conferences. We have access to informational publications. So that is something that TEA is doing behind the scenes, always to provide that for you. These types of webinars, as well as our TEA TV channel. And if you really wanted to expand your reach and you're willing to support the organization, you always have the opportunity to join a committee, to volunteer, to help out at events, and or to run for being on one of our boards. We have an international board of directors, and then we also have our 4 division boards. And those are some of the premier groups of people that make it all happen. So I'm really glad that you're here. I thank you for being TEA members. We really couldn't do it without you. And with that, I will let it go to the next person.
Our next person is Dale Sprague, Chair of the Marketing Committee, who is going to give you a tour of the TEAconnect.org website and your member benefits therein. Take it away, Dale.
Thank you, Clara. So again, thank you all for joining us today. As Clara said, I'm Dale Sprague, and I'm the TEA Marketing and Communications Committee Chairman. And without going any further, I'd like to say thank you for our committee members. The marketing committee has a great team of volunteers who donate their time to find ways to improve the way TEA is marketed to the members and to the public. And we work very closely with the front office, Jenny Nevin's group in Burbank, to put this all together for you. So as Clara mentioned, I'd like to touch on a few features and highlights of the website, TEA.org, and how they benefit you, the members. I will discuss quite a few topics and touch on some of the more important features. I'm going to touch on the homepage highlights, and then the TEA blog, the Find a Member section, which Jenny talked about earlier. The next one is TEA TV, and then quick glance event calendar, and the robust, very robust member profile, and last but not least, the social media channels. The homepage of TEA Connect has many important features, and today I'm going to just highlight a few of them, as I mentioned earlier, and bring the ones that are probably most beneficial to you. I'm going to talk about the TEA blog, and did you know there are actually 3 TEA blogs you can subscribe to via RSS feed? The TEA blog, which is the one that really runs most of the year, provides current and past TEA information from all of our divisions and from anything happening TEA around the world. The SAPE blog, or the SAPE event, Storytelling, Architecture, Technology, and Experience blog, contains articles and information regarding current and past TEA conferences. You can read up on all the speakers, stay up to date in all the events that are going on. And last but not least is the TEA Thea and Summit blog, which provides information on TEA's most prestigious event. So this is the Find a Member section, which I'm going to touch on a little bit later in the presentation. Then we have the TEA TV area. Again, I'm going to touch on that just a little bit further. Below the TEA TV are links to the TEA job board, where you can look to see where all current jobs are listed there and see if there's an interest for you. And a link to the photo gallery, which showcases photos from events around the world. TEA events calendar lists all the current events of all what's going on during the year, and if you'd like to learn more, you can just click on the button that has more details and book now. And now these are events that are not just the corporate events that are coming from the main office, but these are events that are happening in every division all around the world. So now let's go back to the Find a Member section. As we mentioned earlier, this is the TEA member directory section. This is a very robust and searchable function of the website. You can search for members anywhere where members exist. You can search in the all product and services area for any discipline you are looking for. And if you'd like to get even more specific, you can search for that discipline in a specific country, division, or city. You can also search for a specific person by name or company, or then go to their profile and learn about them. And you can also search and browse alphabetically. And if you're a TEA member and you are logged in, you can search in the Find a Member section, and you can see all the people listed that are interested in becoming a mentor for you. So let's go back to TEA TV. TEA TV is really just a wonderful, wonderful thing. I love this section. And did you know that there is actually a YouTube channel for TEA TV? So when you click on this link, it takes you to TEA TV. How many of you subscribe to this channel? If you don't, I highly recommend this. It's just full of all kinds of great information. And if you don't, you can click on the subscribe button up on the right-hand section. So you can view amazing shows and events here, including the opening of the 22nd Annual THEA Award Show, and THEA winner show highlights are there. In addition, the last 3 years of Summit Day 1 and Day 2 are viewable. And one of our newest features, TEA Talks, webinars for all the next-gen audience and for all the members are also there. You can find out how to get into industry, make connections. There's just loaded with all kinds of great information. So as I brought up earlier, the TEA member profile is very, very robust. So once when you signed up, you're given your username and password and you log in. Up on the upper button, you go to member profile. And for time's sake, I'm not going to go into showing you the back end of the system, but once you do, you have areas where you can add your personal and company information to your unique and totally searchable member. Again, if you look up your company or you on Google, this information is going to show up. So for time's sake, I'd like to use BAM Productions as an example because their member profile is just stellar, and it's just a fine example of how to set up a profile. And like BAM, you can upload company information. So you can upload your logo, your company information, address, about the company, company news, all the people in your organization and their contact information. You can add biographies of each person. And you can also have, as you see under BAM, they have recent projects. So you can upload recent projects and talk about them. A photo gallery, press releases, video. It's just an amazing, amazing profile because this is actually acting like a blog. Each company or individual has their own blog, and you can just upload all kinds of information. Again, all searchable. And another great feature of this is that you can upload PDFs of your company brochure or any type of other downloads that you would like the public to read about you. So if you have a portfolio or anything that you would like people to have and you can share it there. And if that's not enough, all this information you load is shareable on social media. So, and speaking of social media, you can add your Twitter or your Facebook feed. So in conclusion, this is a statement I like to tell everybody at the International Board and the committee is like, follow, and share all TEAs. So like us on Facebook, and here are the 3 channels that you should all like and follow: the TEA Connect, TEA NextGen, and TEA EME, which is the Eastern Division Facebook page. Our LinkedIn channel, certainly follow it and join the group. There are lots of great discussions going on in the group discussion within LinkedIn. We have tons and tons of members there and non-members who are joining in the conversation. And as I mentioned earlier, subscribe to TEA TV. All these great webinars are featured there. And last but not least is Twitter, TEA Connect and TEA NextGen. So again, please join, like, follow, share, and be part of the conversation. Thank you.
Thank you, Dale. Next, we're going to switch over to sponsorship, and I believe Michael is going to start with Jenny following.
So this is Michael Mercadante. I am the chair of TEA's Finance and Sponsorship Committee. Sponsorship opportunities are another of the benefits that are provided to members, and it's a way that you can promote your organization and get in front of our 1,270 member companies, with the potential for our members to get their company and their capabilities seen by tens of thousands of eyes when you take into consideration the amount of people in each of these member companies. So you can promote your organization, you can reach all these members, and you can also support TEA and its initiatives. So there's a variety of sponsorship opportunities, the largest being the global partners. We have 7 global partners, and Jenny will talk about the specifics of that in a moment. We also have the opportunity for 20 companies to be global sponsors, and there's some special benefits that go along with that. We have signature global events around the world, our tentpole events, and various sponsorship opportunities for that at the TEA Summit and THEA Gala, which occurs every spring. Every fall we have our SATE conference. This year's will be in New York City. And then every November we have our IAPA conference. We also have divisional events throughout the 4 regions that were previously mentioned. And at those events we have a variety of opportunities from small to large, and we'll talk about those in a moment and get a little specific about that, as well as some of the special divisional events that happen at trade shows around the world, such as the IAPA International Mixer, the EAS show in Europe, which will be in Barcelona this September, and also IAPA Asia, which just happened in Shanghai in June. Jenny, do you want to talk about this specific global partners and sponsors.
Great, thanks, Michael. So we just want to mention, so we have our global partners that help support our large TEA initiatives all year long. We have Walt Disney Imagineering, SeaWorld Parks and Entertainment, Universal Creative, Chimelong, Christie, and the Hedema Group. And just recently, we've added JBA Artistic Engineering from Las Vegas. We're also a global size company. We really depend on these large partners who help us really serve our members worldwide and help our initiatives move forward better to serve you. So our next is our global sponsors that Michael mentioned. So we have 20 now. So we have Seventh Sense and Adirondack Studios and AES and Cortina, Artistic Engineering, A&ES Solutions, Fountain People, Nadek Bobo Group, Craftwork, Electrosonic, JRA, Entertainment Design Corps, and Oceaneering, Mediamation, Mad Systems, Technomedia, PCL Construction, Sally Corporation, VOA, and Wartzilla. And those global sponsors have special promotional opportunities regarding our what we call our tent pole events. As Michael mentioned, our booth at IAPA in Orlando each year, the Summit Conference, our SATE Conference, and our THEA Awards Gala. We have lots of things. They get to attend the event and they get promotional opportunities with logo placement and signage and email blasts that we do for those. And those are the primary events that we have sponsorship, global types of sponsorship represented at, as you can see, SATE, Summit, and the THEA Awards. Michael, do you want to talk to this, the division event sponsorship together, or did you want to?
No, I'll take over here, and you can chime in if there's anything I missed. But before I get into the divisional sponsorship opportunities, I want to just say that the 27 companies that are global sponsors and partners are actually seen on a daily basis. So their companies are getting a lot of promotion by joining us for those opportunities. So what we've also tried to do is have various levels of sponsorship for every size of company and every capability. So we have divisional sponsorship events, again, about 70 around the globe every year. And our sponsorship opportunities run from about $250 to $1,500 per sponsorship, and that gives everyone an opportunity to join in. And a lot of companies prefer to tailor their sponsorship and their marketing dollars to regional events where they're going to attract people and be seen by companies and potential collaborators that are specific to their location and their company's marketing goals. So some of the benefits that are included are, getting your logo on our website, getting a video clip and a sizzle reel at an event, actually having your logo on the collaterals that go with specific events, and the ability to hand out your brochures there. Also opportunities to participate in panels and share your expertise, particularly on an event where there's a project that you were involved in and you want to specifically promote your capabilities in one specific discipline. And then you also get recognized and thanked from the stage and also get some complimentary benefits. So those opportunities range from sort of monthly mixers that happen quite often in the various regions, and they attract up to 300 people. The behind-the-scenes events, which are a little more specific and really focused on a new project or to showcase the capabilities of specific companies that were involved in opening and or developing and implementing and opening a specific project that is just being released to the public. Some premier events at the trade shows that I mentioned earlier. We're starting to have SATE Academy Days, which is a smaller version of our fall conference. We have those in the regions, and those are sort of 1 to 2 day events that happen in various cities around the world, and they focus on some specific themed attractions and a collection of themed attractions in those cities. There's also major holiday parties, and then next-gen opportunities, which range from a GibGab event similar to what we're doing today, to mixers and to webinars.
So Jenny, do you want to talk about this new TEA at Conferences brand that is starting?
Well, so we try to make, we try to be everywhere we can around the world where our members are going to be. So there's many conferences in the industry that happen around the world throughout the year that aren't TEA conferences, but many of our members attend those conferences and trade shows. So we like to have a hub or have a booth or do a mixer at the conferences worldwide. So we've chosen some of the top ones where we've gotten the best feedback from members and requests for, please, we're all going to be here, so can you please have TEA show up as well and provide that hub for networking, as well as having fun and networking, as well as mixing. So Claire is going to speak to the ones that are coming up for this year.
So we're going to dive into the divisional events and have each of the division representatives talk about their list of events. Again, Chris Yoshi could not be here because of the time difference, but just as an FYI, I will be sending you all both the division flyer that we just went over and a list of all the divisional and conference events immediately following the program. So, and if you have any questions on anything today, please email me at crice@jackrouse.com, and I will field your question to the appropriate representative. Scott, would you like to talk about Eastern North America events?
Sure. Thanks, Clara. Thanks, everyone, for joining. First, I'll probably point out how North American divisions are defined. Since the beginning, the North American division's boundaries have been defined by the Great Continental Divide. And that runs north from Mexico through New Mexico, up into Wyoming and Montana. It even goes to Alaska. So everything west of that line is the Western Division, and everything east of that is the Eastern Division. So the Eastern Division has a great deal of territory. Believe it or not, I guess if we produced an event in Alaska, on the North Shores of Alaska, it'd be an Eastern Division event. Many people associate the Eastern Division with Orlando, and while that is really a great hub of activity, we have activities in almost every section of our region, from New York to Washington, D.C., Cincinnati, St. Louis, on and on. We recently held an event in Houston, and we're currently planning an event in Kansas City for next month. In short, don't think just because you're not near Orlando that you won't have opportunities to interact with other amazing creators of compelling places and spaces. Admit it, we haven't done anything on Alaska's North Slope yet. We've got a large slate of events coming up, lots of opportunities to mix and mingle. Let's go take a look at them. Busch Gardens in Tampa. Cobra's Curse just opened, and we have an event here coming up next week on the 28th. Universal Reign of Kong will be in late August, September, most likely September right now. PCL Construction, their Orlando division, will host an open house on September 20th. And we have large projects opening up, including Disney Springs, that pretty much open right now, but we're having an event late summer of 2016, and SeaWorld Orlando's Mako Hypercoaster. We should be having an event in August. Henry Ford Museum in Dearborn, Michigan will be in the fall of 2016. And then State Academy Days, right now we're planning in New York in February. And also the Walt Disney World Holiday Services Tour and Mixers, we're planning that in probably July of 2017. So these are just some of the events that we know that we're producing. There are lots of other ones in the mix, and would welcome any inquiries into them as to sponsorship or just for attendance. You can always email me. You can find me through the TA website or email me at rs.gill@themeworks.com. Thank you.
And on this handout I'll be sending, it includes contacts for all of the division presidents, as well as the contacts for the TEA at conference event, specific events. So you'll know exactly who to contact if you're interested in being a sponsor or in helping out with the event. Thank you, Scott. We're going to move on to the Western Division and Tricia Rodriguez.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us. We have lots of events coming up and past events that we've been able to have this year. It's been super fun. This month we're doing Knott's Berry Farm behind the scenes, and they take really great care of us. a lot of these member events are limited, so it's really important that you keep in mind with the Eastern and the Western boards that when you see these come out, make sure that you sign up immediately, because they are limited numbers that can go in. So jump on it right away. Knott's Berry Farm tapped out the second day that we had it online, and there's only 100 that they were letting in, and I was able to extend that to 125. Sometimes we can do it, sometimes we can't. SAID Academy Days in Silicon Valley, that's going to be great fun. It's open right now, so please look into it. They have several different places that they're going. They're going to be investigating about the challenges of technology in San Jose and a couple other things. We have an open house at Cinnabar. It's going to be themed for October, which will be Halloween. Our September mixers have not been completely decided, so I've chosen not to put them on the board here, but there will be two. We try all to have 2 events per month, one a learning and the other one just fun. It could be somewhere out in the area at a bar, or it could be at a member's location, or a new event, a location that's open that's fun, like at Disney or so forth, or it can also be a technology or architectural learning sessions. We have another mixer coming in LA on November 3rd, and then of course the Western Division always has a huge holiday party, and we're looking at arranging that and have been working on that, so that will be in December. I just want to say that we welcome for Eastern, Western, everybody to mix up, to check on the website, the TEA website, to see what is going on. So everybody does a lot of traveling. Check and see if there's a mixer happening in the city that you're going to, and join in. We love to have you visit so that you can get to know other people in other areas, because of course we all work throughout the country. So join in and have a great time and meet each member. They're all open to teach each other what to do, and also introduce you to new members so that you can extend your introductions. Thank you.
Thank you, Tricia, and that's a great point, that just because an event is in Western North America doesn't mean if you work in New York you can't attend, or vice versa. Jenny just typed in a really great point, which is TEA is everywhere you are. I think this webinar is a great demonstration of that. We're even online. We're even in the interwebs, in the virtual world, as well as our divisions across the world. So just ending things out, Europe, Middle East. There was a wonderful event earlier this year called Designing for Extremes in Iceland. There have also been events in Germany, Dubai, in conjunction with the Deal conference, several themed entertainment events in France and Germany. In Spain, you saw it on a previous slide, this year's European IAPA conference, or Europe Middle East IAPA conference, is in Barcelona. So be on the lookout for more information about where TEA will be at that conference. And then Halloween event in Leolandia, which is in Italy, as well as a London Day Out, which is in December. And again, all of these events will be available on the handout that I'll be sending you shortly after this program. So without further ado, we're going to turn it over to you guys and your questions, and I have a few here. First question for Dale. How can I select the keywords for people to search for my company? Can I do that?
That's a good question. Jenny, do you know the answer to that? There's a place that we can add keywords in the back end.
If we're clarifying if it's the type of work that you do, for example, to the person who asked the question, the International Board compiled a group of a quite extensive list of all of the types of groups that, or excuse me, of work that people might do. So if you pull down that list, if you're trying, that's the best way to find people by type of work. As it was a board initiative, it isn't a manual change right now, but it constantly gets looked at. So the best thing to do is just look to see what the closest thing is to what you do. There's general categories, and there's also some that are more specific, but something close to what the type of work that you do in themed entertainment should be in that list. And if it isn't, then you can always send an email to info@teaconnect.org, and we'll see if there's something we can add or change to that.
And if I can add to that, when you're updating and entering your member profile or any of your information, make sure that you're loading your content correctly with keywords. So load it with keywords so people can search you and find you.
Right, so any of the text that you put in your profile would also be searchable and SEO-enabled text.
Great, thank you. Jenny, I have another question for you, as you are David Ion's proxy today. I am an individual member. However, the company I work for would like to become a member. What's the cost? How do I request a member sponsor? And what's a good example of a business reference?
Okay, well, it's actually super easy for your company to join. We can help you and them directly right here from the office. So there's an application form, or you can join online. Membership prices for companies versus individuals are decided by the size or the number of employees that the company has. So that decides the cost for the year, and it's an annual membership just like all of our memberships. And we can help get sponsors or business references, and the business reference is essentially someone that you business with that could just give you a recommendation in case you don't know any TEA members yet who could sponsor the company. So it's all pretty A to B to join. If you need any help, you can email us directly to our member services, which is memberservices@teaconnect.org, or you can call and ask for us. Our number here at the office is 818-843-8497, or email me directly, which is Jenny, Jennie, @teaconnect.org, and we'd be glad to help you get signed up.
Fantastic. We have quite a few questions here, so we'll try to and luckily we have about 15 minutes left, so we should be able to plow through them all. Dale, this is one for you. Who does a company contact to update its branch location information? And they do that themselves.
Branch location information, you can upload that. I think there are areas where you can put in the corporate headquarters as well as your branches on the back end on the profile.
Yeah, you can update it in your profile or send an email to memberservices@teaconnect.org, and we can help you do it from headquarters as well. Just speaking to everyone on the mixer today, if you really do need any help with any of your profile, have questions of TEA, what's going on, you need some help, you can always reach out to us. That's what we're here for. We're here to serve you. An easy one is info@teaconnect or memberservices@teaconnect.org. So we are here to help you anytime.
And in my email to everyone with the additional information and event listings, I will send you these email addresses so you don't have to worry about memorizing them right now. Steve, I have a question for you. How does one join a committee or become a board member?
If you stand still, you will probably be asked to join one. However, once you have been a member and you understand what committee might speak to you or what your interests are, it's just a matter of asking and chatting with some of those folks. But there's generally always opportunities if you're interested with some of the special groups we've got going.
Wonderful. Thank you. I am a freelancer project hire in the industry. I'm an individual member. Is there a way for me to list the projects and TEA member organizations I have worked for in my member profile? Dale.
Yes, there is. You could upload photos, you can upload a little paragraph about the project, you can put links and actually have links to those projects. It's very easy. If you have case studies, you can do it in that section as well.
When will the database of companies looking for interns be available for Next Gen members? I saw under Next Gen benefits that it will be coming soon. Jenny?
I think that's still being worked on. We've created an internship section for our job board where companies can start posting internship opportunities on our job board. And that's a very brand new thing. So we're still getting companies to know about that. So I don't think the other one is coming just quite yet.
But I would be on the lookout. The best way, if you're a Next Gen, we have a couple of Next Gens on this call right now, or on this webinar right now. The best way to get engaged with the TEA is to attend events when you can. If you have any questions about Next Gen in particular, I will also send you that contact. That is Ariel Rassel with ThinkWell Group. And I will send you those contacts as well. We have a very robust Next Gen program, currently close to 400 members, always having events going on. So I'll be happy to pass on that information so that you can get updates on Next Gen as well as regular TEA events. An important thing to point out, though, is if you are a TEA Next Gen member, you are considered a member and are entitled to come to whatever TEA events you would like to attend, whether they be Next Gen or not. So welcome to the family. Next question. I've had a lot of students at local colleges ask me if there is a students category for the THEA Awards. Is that something that has ever been considered? So I guess the question here would be a student-based project. Has there ever been consideration of a student-based project being entered into a THEA Awards?
So as far as I know, they're not being considered because the projects are not, they're not proposed projects. There actually have to be things that, attractions or projects that have actually had an opening date. So the public, it's something that exists and the public can actually see or attend. Or it's a technology that actually is being launched and it's being shared with the industry. So there isn't a student project level, but if a student happened to work on one of the THEA recipient projects, then they would qualify to be acknowledged as part of that project as well, but not for student projects.
Great.
That being said, there's been some universities that have had their own project competitions, and the TA board members have been asked to be a part of them and judge, but it was put together by the universities.
Great. Several of you have asked me whether this PowerPoint will be available. I can certainly send you a link to the PDF. However, the recording of this webinar with all the questions and answers and descriptions will be available on TEA TV as soon as we can get all of the nexts and ums and etc. edited out of it. We will get it onto TEA TV and you'll be able to show it with your colleagues that weren't able to attend today. I saw a fun question up here, which was, what are important questions regarding the industry you believe need to be addressed within the next few years, Mr. President?
Well, of course, there's trends within the industry that things that are always changing, and then just the growth in the industry. We're finding ourselves in areas that we haven't been in the past. The trade organizations and even some government sorts of organizations internationally that are asking for our presence or our involvement. Just in the industry sorts of sense, but as far as things that are happening within the kinds of work that we do, there's technology changes, new ideas come out. There's always something new around the corner.
Awesome. Scott, I have a question for you. As a student, did you know themed entertainment was the field you wanted to enter? If so, what important steps did you take to get there?
That's a great question. I did not know this industry existed until I was well into high school. I used to, when I was a kid, I was a model railroader, so I made a lot of model railroads. And I didn't know what I wanted to be. I didn't know if I wanted to be a chef, an architect, or an artist. And one of the gurus of model railroading at the time was a guy named John Olson. He worked for WDI. And through him, I learned of the industry. And once he invited me down to Orlando, and once I visited him and saw what Imagineers did, I knew that it was a perfect fit for me. It combined sort of all my passions of creating and artistry and working with teams into one beautiful thing. So I knew I'd found my spot in the world. As far as what you should do, it's almost exactly what I did, and that is get involved. Talk to people. Just because John Olson was a guy who was fairly well known in Imagineering, and still is. He created all the rock work for Big Thunder Mountain Railroad and numerous other projects. It doesn't mean that he's not a friendly guy. He is an awesome guy, and most people I've met in TA are fantastic people. So reach out and get involved. The thing I can't really encourage enough of is to just get involved. Go out there, meet people, volunteer. As Steve and everybody else suggested, we're a growing organization and we need help to continue our growth. So volunteer, whatever little part it is. If it's just greeting people at a TA event, you're going to meet so many people, and through those people that you meet, you're going to have opportunities and more connections.
Thank you, and that's a great segue into our next and what appears to be our final question. If there are events I would like to volunteer for, such as the Thea Awards and SATE, how can I get involved?
Kind of along the lines of what Scott was saying, when you show up at some of these events, it's easy to meet the organizers and you see who's responsible for what, and then it's just a matter of raising your hand. I was on the Eastern board and I missed one of the phone calls, and when I came back, I was the secretary. It's just a matter of being available and deciding what your interests are, and then there's just a world of connections to be made and people to meet and things to be a part of. That's the great part of this. So that's not the challenge. It's just the suggestion I would have is just to appear at the events, get to know some folks, and the opportunities will arise.
And if you are a TEA Next Gen, we generally do a crew call for some of the more major signature TEA events like SATE and the Summit, THEAs, and IAPA. So no guarantee from year to year whether those opportunities will be available, but those times of year, keep an eye out for your email because we do sometimes need crew for the TEA for those opportunities. We just had a last minute question come in. With all of the advances in the industry lately, what have been popular job positions that Next Gen members should perhaps look into while they are growing as a themed entertainment designer? I'm going to start on this one as the previous Next Gen chair. One of the wonderful things over the several years that I was involved with the Next Gen committee is that for the first couple of years, I had students and recent graduates telling me, I need to find a job, I need to find a job, can you help me find a job? That was kind of in the Great Recession, coming out of the Great Recession period. The last year or two, it's been the exact opposite. I've had companies coming up to me clamoring, saying, I have so much work to do and not enough people to do it. Can you find me a Next Gen? So I would say, and please folks jump in, but engineering is I'm getting a lot of requests for engineers right now. Others, what have you heard in the industry? Are there specific roles that people are clamoring to fill at the moment?
Certainly, the technology fields. In the case of Burkett Engineering, I can certainly say the Next Gen process works for the folks that are recent grads or graduating. Some of these Next Gen events and just the general membership sorts of events. That's where you get to meet some of the vendor companies and the owner companies, and that's where those connections are made. And just in the case of our company, we've hired 3 Next Gens over the last year or so. And I know there's other examples of that. So it's a great pathway to make those kinds of connections that can lead to where you want to be.
I'd also mention, too, that just about everybody in this industry right now is extremely busy. So no matter which discipline you want to pursue, right now there's a need for it. I think key to that, though, is making sure that you can demonstrate that you can sort of plug and play. Everybody's busy. They need somebody to come in and be instantly working on projects right away. So having a portfolio or a body of work that shows that you know how to solve the problems that we're trying to solve would go a long way to being hired immediately.
Great.
And for next gens and regular members on this in this mixer, just remember that your profile page is a huge asset for you, and to make it as great as possible, really have it be robust. Know that it's people's first impression of you if they find you through TEA, and so you can utilize that as an asset for you as you move forward, and knowing that your resume and how you present yourself really makes a difference, and be the best at what you do that you could be wherever you're at in your career.
The Next Gen committee has done a great job of organizing and executing the GAP events, which is speed networking. They're tremendous. 30, 40 Next Gen folks who converge on one site, and 30 or 40 vendor companies who meet them, and you get, if nothing else, you get practice with your portfolio and speaking before potential employers in a quick, concentrated sort of fashion, and it's just a great opportunity for folks new to the industry.
Great. Well, that about does it for this this issue, this episode of TEA Talks, New Member Digital Mixer. But remember, this is not the end of the dialogue. This is just the beginning. We will be sending out the slide deck and some handouts. This video will be available on TEA TV, and hopefully we'll see you on our social media channels, on the web, and on a future TEA event. Thank you very much for joining us today. This is WTEA, TEA TV, signing off. Thank you.
Thank you for attending today's webinar. For more information about the TEA, please log on to our website at teaconnect.org.